at the moment he's performing below par.
So the last few minutes we've been concentrating on the field event action, but starting very shortly will be the first round of the girls' 1500 metres. That is the next track action. I can see them de-kitted and assembled on the back straight. This girls' 1500 metres on the track, for your information, will be followed by the boys' 100 metres in the octathlon event. The girls' 400 metres and the boys' 100 metre heats are later on the track. The field event does continue, but the girls' 1500 metres is up. 2 heats, first 4 in each heat, and the next 4 fastest will advance straight to the final. And 2 fields coming up, Phil. 11 athletes in each.
Yes, I mean, we're looking very closely here. Once again, we were talking in the boys' 800 metres about the Ethiopian athletes, and the Ethiopian athletes lead the way here with Genet Tibieso, fastest time in the world this year at 4:12.50. Just see the starting list for the girls' 1500 metres. 2 heats, qualification, first 4 in each heat, and then the 4 fastest non-automatic qualifiers. 11 women in this heat. There we see Canada's Jaime Phelan. Very good Ethiopian, only hand timings to her name, but it's Sembere Teferi. Obviously hasn't raced outside of Ethiopia, so it'll be interesting to see how she copes with these conditions. Next to her, Sheila Kiter from Kenya, Kelly Hennessy, Canada, Maya Rearberg from Germany, Margot Gibson from New Zealand, we can just see on the left of your screen there, blowing a kiss to the crowd. Hannah Mayer from United States, Shino Takeda from Japan, in those pigtails, Lenuta Simiak from Romania, and then the 2 women on the outside there, positions 10 and 11. Emine Tuna from Turkey and Anna Laman from Australia. So 11 women in this field. I don't know. Catherine, help me out here. What do you think we're going to expect here? Because 1500 metre heats can often be tactical affairs. I mean, we saw in the men's 800 on a couple of occasions, but not always, athletes going straight to the front and tearing through the first lap. But we could really here see quite lots of jostling and jousting for position over the first couple of laps.
Well, it doesn't really matter what age group it is for middle and long distance running. Qualification rounds, for me, are a little bit of a lottery. Sprint events, if you're fast enough, you're in. Tactics come in, of course, for middle and long distance races. Sometimes we don't see some of the better, higher ranked athletes qualifying because they may tactically get it wrong, or they're out sprinted if they don't run it the way that they maybe came into the race planning to. So it will be interesting, won't it, Phil? These 11 athletes, well, the favourite for me, if you look at the rankings, would be Anna Laman of Australia. World ranked number 2 this year with a time of 4 minutes 13.62 seconds. But as you say, Phil, 3 3/4 laps. It will be interesting to see.
This is a little bit sedentary, just through the first 250 metres, just coming into the home straight for the first time. We've got at the front there Roberg from Germany. You can just see there 1:4.32 from New Zealand.
Well, this is pedestrian, Phil.
Little bit, yes, isn't it? It's fully understandable. Everybody is really expecting to be able to be in contention. We just saw a slight trip there from Kitur from Kenya, right at the back, and it took her no time at all to get back in contention. And of course, in a big field like this, what can also come into play is a lack of championship experience. So often we've seen at the World Youths, World Junior Championships, people treading on each other's heels. This is where, as you rightly said about some of the previous events, you learn your trade, and never more so than in the middle distance events, where often you're trying to deal with big fields and you're trying to deal with athletes who are varying abilities and talents. So we see now back to the front again after that big trip just before the 400 metre mark. Sheila Kitur from Kenya picking up the pace just a little bit, just behind her Japanese runner Shiho Takeda. And then, of course, as you were saying, Anna Laman, their tall figure in the green and white vest of Australia. Coming round, taking the long way round on the outside, it's Teferi from Ethiopia.
Well, this is what I was saying. You can throw rankings out the window here in these middle distance events, because as you quite rightly say, the athletes are nervous. They want so badly to get into these World Youth Finals, which is totally, of course, understandable, and many of them are immature in terms of championship racing, and that is fully understandable and accepted, and it's such a big experience for these young athletes.
Kenyans, of course, having taken the last 3 titles. 2005, Sheila Chepkurui. 2007, Sami Cheretich. And 2009, Nelly Ngueno. We've heard a lot more from Ngueno on the cross-country circuit subsequently. We haven't heard too much from Chepkurui and Cheretich. So, just coming back to the race in hand, we have Tafari from Ethiopia just taking the lead from Kiter from Kenya, putting a metre and a half between herself. Probably a good tactic at this point in the race. Keeps herself out of trouble. And Kiter looks as though she's just struggling just a little bit. Tafari looking extremely comfortable here. Only a hand timing for Tafari of 4:20.3. As I said, I assume that's because she's never raced outside of Ethiopia before. So here we see the bell. 3:14.80 at 1100 metres. Tafari looking very comfortable, and Kiter just behind her, and then a big gap to the best of the rest with United States, Hannah Mayer and Anna Laman up there as well.
Well, the track getting very congested indeed. Those girls' high jumpers qualifications are both out on the track. So once again, eyes all over the place in track and field, making sure everybody's safe, don't get in anybody's way. But these two athletes here have really strung out this field, haven't they, Phil? With 200 metres to go, I think the battle is going to be for the final 2 automatic qualifying spaces. The first 4 in each heat, remember, get those automatic qualifying spots. And I think it's the 3rd and 4th place spots that are going to be really up for battle with 100 metres to go.
Absolutely. I'm going to be very interested to see, because we saw some very extravagant performances from the Ethiopians in the boys' 800 metres. Is Tafari going to keep pouring it on? And I think she is, although she does still also look very comfortable. Down the home straight, she's going to win by about 30 metres. But Kiter is going backwards. The rest of the field are closed in on her. Kiter seems to have enough still in hand to get the 2nd place. 3rd looks like Hannah Mayer from the United States, and will confirm the 4th automatic qualifier, Anna Laman. 4:21.43. That looked very comfortable for Tafari there. A little bit surprised to see Sheila Kiter, who's run 4:14 this year, go so dramatically backwards in the last 200 metres.
Wow. I'll be interested to know the mindset of all the non-African athletes here at these World Youth Championships. Do we have a different generation, Phil, now in being overawed in terms of the mental approach that these young boys and girls must have coming into these middle distance races, such as the dominance of the African athletes?
I think in the men's events, actually, you raise a very interesting point here. You talk to a lot of men, and I think that is still the case. The women, it seems to be far less so. Historically, I think, we look back, we can think of people from Britain like Lisa Dobrisky, and of course many of the Spaniards like Natalia Rodriguez and Nuria Fernandez. They don't have the fear of the Africans that the men seem to have. Here we go, Valerie